The defending Super Bowl champs in danger of going 0-2, but how much does it really matter? Welcome into Hot Reads, your weekly look at the NFL with Hall of Fame quarterback Troy Aikman. My name is Tom Vandervoort. Troy, a lot of teams going 0-2 at home might make you a little worried about the season, but the New York Giants have won the Super Bowl the last time they've lost their first game, and in 2007 they lost the first two games and went on to win the Super Bowl. How important is this game against Tampa Bay for the New York Giants to win this thing at home?
Well, it's obviously an important game. I think that, the one thing that we've seen, especially from the Giants, as you pointed out, and even, as recently as last year, that, the early part of the season, or even in large part, a lot of the regular season is inconsequential as far as how it relates to then going on and winning a Super Bowl. I mean, this was a team 3 weeks before the season ended that was not playing particularly good football, and yet then they ran the table and, of course, won the Super Bowl. And so, to start out 0-2 at one time, that was disastrous. That's not necessarily the case now, but I think the biggest thing for the Giants is that these two games are at home. And to have lost against Dallas, really not having played very good ball against the Cowboys, to now be facing a Tampa team that many people would have thought that this would have been a foregone conclusion, they're going to win the game. They look a little bit better. So it's an important game, but it's not the end of the world if they don't win, but I expect them to come out and play very well.
Now, you've been the defending Super Bowl champion, so you obviously know what it's like. And the cliche is you always get the other team's best shot. Is that really the case? And if it is the case, what does that mean to get the other team's best shot?
Well, I think what happens is, as far as Sunday goes, I think every team in the league gets the other team's best shot on that particular day. But where it changes and where that phrase comes from, I believe, is during the course of the week. And so, every team that was on the Giants' schedule, when the schedules came out in April and they saw the Giants then, when they were playing them week 2, week 5, week 9, whenever it was, they know that that's going to be a tough game. And so what it tends to do, in my opinion, is it gets your attention, during the course of the week. And so when you show up on Wednesday and you're putting in the game plan and you're preparing for that particular opponent, the practices seem to be a little bit more crisp. The attention to detail seems to be much more focused than what it could be against a team that you just expect to be able to go out and play well against and win against a team that maybe the year before had struggled.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you saw a game last week with the replacement referees, and there's been a lot of focus on that. We're coming up to another week of the replacement referees, and we focus a lot on missed calls or they gave them an extra timeout. But I'm wondering, were there other things that you saw or other ways that you think that having these replacement referees, not the normal guys out there, might affect the game and how the players maybe approach the game?
Well, in our game that we had last week, Tom, with the Green Bay Packers and the 49ers, there's always going to be some calls that you agree with, that you disagree with, that you kind of question, and there's going to be missed calls within each and every game, regardless of who's officiating the game. But really, in addition to making the calls, I think the official's job is to really administer the flow of the game, and I thought that was disrupted in the Packers-49ers game. One, because calls were being called late, and then they weren't being called in a timely manner as far as marking off the necessary yardage, putting the ball back in play, and letting the teams line back up and play. And I think that's one of the reasons why the games in Week 1 have taken longer to play than they have in previous years, is because there is a little bit of uncertainty. And with that, with the flow of the game not being consistent, as a quarterback, I would say that would be frustrating for me.
Very good. All right, Troy, thank you so much. Excellent stuff this week. Look forward to talking to you again next week.
All right, Tom. Thanks, bud.